Welcome back to my channel. So this is an up and running video on my Royal all metal upright. This is the 9700 model. This machine, I didn't even realize that I never did an up and running video on it. I made a post showing that I polished it up. As you can see, it's very shiny, and I'm pretty satisfied with how it came out. I serviced the motor, and I don't mean that I just pulled the brushes out and the oil port. I actually stripped this completely down to the motor. I cleaned everything out, fresh oil, and it's running great. It ran pretty good before, but I wanted to give it a good service before I started using this in my collection. I did replace the bulb about a week ago, so it has that. And the brush roller definitely needed some oil, and it's spinning really great now. And you can tell this is in very good condition because the bristles are not only still very long, but they're also, this is not a metal brush roller, this is in fact wood. It's just painted, and you can see that the paint has not really stripped off the wood at all. So that's always great. And the motor, I did polish up the motor part too. And overall, I'm very happy how it came out. The bag, again, is also in really nice condition. The only blemish on this machine, this was my fault, kind of. Yeah, this was kind of my fault. I did not know you could actually pull this rubber bumper off. I thought this was permanently stapled on. But when I was going over this with a polishing wheel, you could see the polishing wheel, unfortunately, made a few gouges in the rubber bumper. So that was my fault. And then, of course, this was already here, this little blemish. But other than that, it's in really nice condition. The cord is perfect. And I do have a genuine Royal paper bag in here. And I have been using this machine quite a bit. And this was a brand new bag. And you can see this whole bottom area is just packed full right here. Probably about 3 inches worth of dirt already. And I must say, this is probably my best agitating vacuum in my collection. You could really feel the agitation as you're vacuuming. I also replaced the belt. It does have a brand new belt. The other one was dry rotting. And that fan is also in really good condition. Put this down for a second. So this is definitely kind of a definitely an upgraded Royal compared to the other one I had before this. Because this has the adjustal right. The other one had a gray flap that you would pull off. It did not have a headlight. The bag material appears to be a lot better. It's a much stiffer bag instead of it being kind of loose like the Auric. As you can see, it's kind of like a looser bag material, whereas this is more firm. So that's really nice. And my other Royal, it also had a split in the cord release right here, or the strain relief, I should say. There's your power switch, and I did lube this part up too, so that way this would adjust more smoothly. And I will give it a quick run for you guys. Also, I did steal the belt lifter from that Royal, and I put it on this machine, so that way... Oh! Looks like I need to oil up those wheels. But anyways, give it a run for you guys. Another thing I'd like to mention is this is, as I've probably said before in my unboxing video of this is probably one of my favorite Royals out of all of them. Obviously, there's a bunch of models out there, and this just appears to be my favorite. I know the later models, this is a 1994 vacuum, by the way. I know the later models used a higher amperage motor. This is the 7 amp, which is my favorite motor, honestly. It's very powerful, and it's also not too loud. I notice with the 8 all the way to the 10.5 amp motors, those are very, very loud and can be kind of unpleasant to use. Whereas this is kind of balanced out. It's obviously not the quietest Royal. I know they made older models that were as low as 3 amps. This 7 amp Royal is not only powerful, it's also not the loudest. So I'm very happy with this noise level. As you can see, it grooms and really, really lifts the carpet up very nicely. This is one of, if not probably the best agitating deep cleaner in my collection, and it's not even close. I love using my Oryx that I have, but this machine, once a week, just pull it out, and the carpet is just going to get a insane deep clean when you use this. And again, it's one of my favorite vacuums because it's simple. Fans right in here. The air gets sucked in. The brush roller is agitating, obviously. The air gets sucked in, blown up this tube and into the bag. I also like this newer model because the older ones used a bottom fill design, and I definitely prefer this top fill design over the bottom fill. It's less messy and it just makes more sense to me. So I'm really happy that Royal updated that on this machine. I would like to get a commercial Royal one of these days just to try it out. I know it's going to be much louder than this because I know those commercial Royals were higher amperage, and they also had the commercial cable on it. But even this not being a commercial cable, it is very long. This is definitely a 35-foot power cord, and it is literally the same length as my commercial Oryx. So for $65, and that was $65 in total that I paid for this, because this was, I believe, $45 plus $20 to ship. For $65, this was so worth it, and is so much better than what you're going to buy nowadays with that $65. So that's a little rant on this Royal all metal. They call it the commercial quality because it is all metal. Technically it's aluminum, but aluminum is metal. So there you have it. That's just my long rant on this machine. It's definitely one of my favorite vacuums of all times. It just cleans so well. It's so simple. And it's not very heavy either. I did weigh it earlier. It's only 16 pounds, which is obviously not the heaviest. It's definitely lighter than my Eureka Smart Vac. So that's my video on this machine. Thanks for watching.